Hello, everybody. Good to see you. It's Stefan here from Ireland. It's 7:15 in Ireland, and it's time to have our talk show. At the same time, I want to say thank you for all the listeners from Kardec Radio in America. It's good to have you here with us as well, and I hope you are having a lovely day. And thank you very much for your patience and today we do have a very special guest. It's my it's my brother. We are twins with different mothers, but we are twins. Like looks the same. We have the same hairstyle. Okay, but he has just the opposite. He has here hair. And it's my friend Umberto Werdine. Umberto, just give a little introduction of him. Umberto is a spiritist from over 45 years. He worked in the Dr. Bezerra de Menezes Institution in Rio de Janeiro for more than 20 years. Actually, he lives in Austria with his wife, Claudia Werdine, which is a great collaborator in education for children, spiritist education for children. And Humberto, he's a nuclear engineer and has worked for the United Nations as a nuclear safety expert. And he's still collaborate with many electronic journals and newspapers and magazines in Brazil on the topic of the Spiritism. He's going to talk about us, the pandemic and the Spiritist. So what's our behavior? What do we have to do? What should be our viewpoint as a spiritist on this pandemic? And my friend, I think that's the briefing from you. I could resume in 3 lines, but I would like to welcome you. And before we start, can we have I will do an initial prayer. Okay?
Okay.
So, let's raise up our thoughts towards Jesus, towards our mentors, thanking them for this moment as we are united. Everybody safe in your home, in your car, in your office, in front of your laptop, your mobile. Doesn't matter which tool you are using to connect with us, but you are connected. That's the most important. Let's ask for the benefactors, guide our friend Umberto Werdine to go through his explanation in a way it will touch our hearts, our mind, our soul, and help us to understand, to put our feet on the ground and become not just a better person, but a better friend, a better father, a better husband, a better wife, a better mom, a better human being. So be it. Amen. Okay, my friend, how are you? How's Austria right now?
Well, my dear, Austria is a very beautiful place, as you know, but we see that the pandemic here is initiating the second wave. So it's very, very complicated. Austria is a very small country. It's only 8 million people. Vienna is almost 2 million. But we are having around 800 people per day contaminated here. And this, if you extrapolate it, compare with the the other countries, it's a very big number. Okay, so this is what we are having today. And to begin my conversation with you all, first I'd like to really to thank Stephen, you for allow me to have this opportunity to talk about it, about this situation. And secondly, I'd like to thank also the audience, the people that are listening to me and listening and watching me in your homes and your places. And I thank you for the privilege to be there with you. You see, the situation of the pandemic with us is very complex. You see, I had in these first months, since March that began the pandemic reached my family. So I have, in the last months, my wife and my daughter, one of my daughters, they got the pandemic. They got the COVID. And thanks God, they are well. They are okay. My daughter, she's 99% recovered, and Claudia is reaching there. And so I thank God for their recovery. And I'd like to say something that I received, and everyone has received these some emails, some WhatsApps, messages about the COVID. And a very close friend of mine wrote me a WhatsApp message saying that this is a dumb disease, that God is punishing us, punishing the humankind. And I saw also in the internet many people, spiritists, saying that this disease, this pandemic, is a catastrophic calamity, the one that Kardec wrote in the book of Spiritists. In the questions 737 to 741, when he asked the spirits why God sent us these catastrophic calamities. And the spiritists told us that this is done for the development of the mankind, the moral development and the scientific development, because we are going to have new vaccines, new medicines to help each other, and the solidarity will increase, and the people will be more united, etc. So this is the objective of these catastrophic calamities. But I'd like to discuss this. I'll dare to say that what we are having today is not a catastrophic calamity, destructive calamity. It's not a destructive calamity. It's not. Why am I saying that? Because of the numbers. We had about 100 years ago, really, we had a destructive calamity. It was the Spanish flu. The Spanish flu, it's very interesting. The Spanish flu, the name is Spanish flu. It has nothing to do with Spain. Actually, the Spanish flu, it was an infection that the grippy influenza, the virus H1N1, attacked the entire world. But the world had just finished the World War I. And the World War One has killed more than 11 million people. And people was just woke up from the World War One, and then the countries that United States and Europe, Germany, France, and UK, these countries decided not to talk to the people about the H1N1, about the gripe influenza. They decided not to talk about. They were deeming as it was a normal flu, nothing else. To try to protect the people of this new pandemic. But Spain was the only country that was not part of the war in Europe. And Spain was neutral in the war. So they begin to spread the news all over the Europe from Spain. So the people in the UK, in the US, and in Germany, in France, in other countries, they began to know about this H1N1 influenza virus and the veracity of this virus from Spain. This was the reason that they called Spanish flu. Okay, and the Spanish flu, it killed a number of people. I have the number here with me, and it infected 500 million people. 500 million people in 2 years. And it was, these 500 million people is about 1/4, 25% of the population of the world in that moment. And it killed 50 million people. Look at that. 10% of the 500 million people was killed. 50 million people. If we extrapolate this, let's suppose that this virus that was here today was the Spanish flu. Okay, the same virus with the same veracity. If you make the extrapolation, the numbers today would be 200 million people dead, killed, 200 million people dead today. 2 billion people contaminated. This is a destructive calamity. What we have today is a very minor destructive calamity. You know, and I have a reading for that. To me, God and the spiritual world, they took pity on us. Actually, they took pity on us because they gave us a minor calamity to really, to raise our solidarity, to bring our solidarity up. You see, and to make the countries work together in order to have a vaccine that could be for everyone. The spirituality expected this from us. For we had to be together. We were separated from everyone. We were put in our houses. And we discovered that sometimes we take for granted many things that's not true. I cannot take for granted that I can see my kids to hug them. because they are in another country and I cannot fly. Airports are closed. And we had to learn how to live together. In some cases, how to live alone. This was my specific case. I was doing a consultant in another continent, in Arabic Peninsula, and I was 4 months locked within a room in a hotel. And in the other countries, my kids, my family, they were separated from each other. Everyone in the world was separated. And we had a very strong possibility for us to learn how to play with our kids, how to listen to my wife, my husband, my kids, the people that live in the same place. This virus gave us opportunity for solidarity, gave opportunities to every one of us to become better people, gave opportunity to the heads of states to become better governors, better people, better leaders, better rulers. I'd like to read one quote from the president of Costa Rica. Look, the COVID-19 pandemic will show us a before and an after in the history of humanity, not only in terms of our healthcare systems, but also for working together and for relationships between people. Because despite the crisis we have had to face, we have an opportunity to take joint decisions which will change for good the future of the world population in the short and medium term. Carlos Alvarado, president of Costa Rica. But he was only one in the middle of how many heads of states that are worried with their elections and not with the people. The General Secretary of the United Nations, Antonio Guterres, he said, COVID-19 has laid bare deep injustices and inequalities based on income, gender, race, and more. Returning to the system that created these fragilities is out of question. All of our efforts must go towards building more equal, inclusive, resilient, and sustainable societies. They are weak, and they are sending the messages. But really the ones that are running the world, the most important countries, what they are doing? They are in the industries, the vaccine industries. They are spending hundreds of millions of dollars separated. Each one is really doing whatever they think that they should do. We have today more than 100 vaccines in the world being tested. You can imagine if everyone is stopped, if they join their efforts to create one vaccine for the entire world, it would be much cheaper for everyone. And this vaccine would be universal. Look, let me read one thing to you that Pope Francis, I like this Pope. Look what he said. How sad it would be if, for the COVID-19 vaccine, priority is given to the richest. It would be sad if this vaccine were to become the property of this nation or another, rather than universal and for all. The pandemic has laid bare the difficult situation of the poor and the great inequality that reigns in the world. We can say that the international communities and the most important countries, they should know better, and they should have been work more together. But if they are looking for means to use the COVID-19 problem to win their elections, and if the industries, vaccine industries, wants to make money with our suffering, look, this is their problems. Our problem is different. We have to use this time that we are having to become better people. When I'm talking to you now, to every one of you, it's very important to say, to understand what I'm going to say now. When I point one finger to you, that you should do this, you should do that, I am appointing 3 to me, and 1 is to God. He is witness, or she is witness of what I am saying, what I am doing. I cannot accuse anyone because I have 3 fingers accusing me. If I'm saying something to you, I'm saying that to me. I'm learning a lot when I'm talking to you about this subject. The opportunity that we are having, we cannot miss. We cannot wait for a second, third, fourth, or bigger calamity to arrive in order to wake us up. That is the point. Look at the opportunity. 100 years ago, we have the Spanish flu that killed 50 million people. That, if we extrapolate today, it would be 200 million people. 200 million people is the population of Brazil. The population of the UK is 60 million. And I have here, you see, the population of Canada is almost 40 million. Spain, 47 million. You can imagine what does it mean to have 200 people dead in 2 years. This would be a calamity, a destructive calamity. But God, the spirituality, gave us a very minor one to tell us, wake up, wake up. And are we awake? I'm going to read another quote of an author. She is an Indian, Arundhati Roy. Look what she said. She's a very famous in India. Historically, pandemics have forced humans to break with the past and imagine their world anew. This one is no different. It's a portal, a gateway between one world and the next. We can choose to walk through it, dragging the carcasses of our prejudice and hatred, our avarice, our data banks, our dead ideas, our dead rivers, and the smoky skies behind us. Or we can walk through lightly with little luggage, ready to imagine another world and ready to fight for it. Look, she used the expression a portal, a gateway. And this is what we should understand with this virus. It's a portal, it's a gateway. We cannot miss this opportunity to really to fight the old men that are within each other, within ourselves. We have, in my case, I am Humberto. I have a bright Humberto and I have a dark Humberto within me. Sometimes, or most of the time, I don't want to see the dark one. Everyone has what we call the dark side. And we have to fight the good fight in order really to transform this dark side into the brighter side, to become a better man, a better woman, a better wife, a better kid, a better friend, a better citizen. The opportunity is enormous. We sometimes we are so we try to measure. We have to reform ourselves. You see, I'm remembering now, recalling here something that I read that it is very important. So I'm bringing this here. I read that sometimes we act as we have a pain roller of the others. We measure the pain of the others. We compare the pain of the others. The pain of one mother that lost a kid with the pain of a person that broke up with her boyfriend or something else. And we compare and say this pain is bigger than the other pain. We have no right for that. Pain is pain. Perhaps this, within commas, smaller pain could be added to another pain and become greater than the other pain. Pain is pain, and we judge. She is or he should go to the hospital to see a person with cancer, and then he would measure his or her pain. We cannot judge the pain of others, and we do this. This is one point that we really have to think about ourselves. We cannot be judge of anyone. Everyone has its pain, and we cannot put the pain in a scale and compare it with the other ones, and we do this every day. So this is one example that I'm telling you that I learned during this pandemic. And we have really to understand this, to become better people, to become better persons. Look, let me read one thing, because we are almost at the end already. One thing that I got from the Godspell according to the Spiritist, to the Spiritism, and is in the chapter 20, the Spirit of Truth. Look, let us work together and unite our efforts, so that when the Lord arrives, he will find his work finished. Seeing that the Lord will say to them, "Come unto me, you who have been good servants, you who knew how to silence your rivalries and discords, so that no harm should come to the work. But woe to those who, as a result of their dissensions, have held back the time of the harvest, because the tempest will come and they will be taken away in the turbulence." We have a phrase here that he says, "Good servants, you knew how to silence your rivalries and discords, so that no harm should become to the work." How many of us have really fight against this kind of feeling that we have? This opportunity that we are having now with this pandemic, the time that we are within ourselves, we have to learn. We have really to take this opportunity to really to understand that we need to be better people. I'm living here in Austria, and I see many people, different races, different genders, different religions. I see propaganda here because there will be elections in 1 month, elections for the local government. And the propaganda of the neo-Nazi party against the Muslims is incredible. It's shocking. We are not different. You see, we are not different. In some countries, in the United States today, they are almost in a civil war because of these civil rights, black and white. We are in the 21st century. There's no room for that. And we have to understand that everything is connected. It was not for nothing that this pandemic arrived. It's to call us, to everyone, attention. Look, you belong to the world, but you have a part in this society. You are living in your house with your family, but you are living this society. If we do not change ourselves to try to really to combat, to fight against this dark shadow, how come we will be complaining against racism, bigotry, if within ourselves we are somehow accepting this? I was really talking today with my wife in the car, and we are talking about the sower. You see, that he is taking the seeds, planting the seeds, spreading the seeds. And I can tell you one thing, all of us, we are sowers. Because in every moment, we are influencing others. With our attitude, with our behavior, the way that we speak, the way we shout, the way we keep silence. Look, the opportunity that God gave to us, to the Spiritists, it's something extremely important, because we are not better than anyone, but we know something more. We know that if we plant bananas, if we seed bananas, we are going to collect, to harvest bananas. If we use the seed of an apple, we are going to get an apple. If we plant hatred, we are going to get hatred. So is our obligation to reform ourselves, to plant patience, compassion, tolerance. We are talking, the Spiritists in general, we are talking about the regeneration planet, that we are moving from these planets of proofs and atonements to the next level, regeneration. But we are expecting this will come like that. The regeneration began already, because every people that is dying are being replaced by other spirits that are a little bit more advanced than us. And these will, little by little, change the atmosphere of the planet. But they're coming as kids, babies, that depends on the parents to guide them. If the parents don't have time for them, if they are in the internet all the time, in the WhatsApp, Instagram, all the time, they don't have time for the kid. I believe I'm going to use the last minutes of my conversation with you to talk a real fact that happened with a friend of mine that is a doctor in Brazil. He is a very famous doctor. And he has one kid. This happened 20 years ago, okay? His kid had, at that time, was about, this story began when he was about 9 years old, 10 years old. When he arrived home, because he was very famous, he had many surgeries, the telephone rang all the time. The telephone rang all the time. And he did not have time for the family. And one day, and the kid wanted to play with the father, to talk with the father about his things, about what happened in the school. His father never had a minute of time for him, or just 1 minute. And then one day he asked her mother, his mother, how much costs 1 hour of her father, the consult, okay, how much costs. And at that time, She said it was equivalent to today 200 pounds, okay? 250 euros, something like that. And then one day, after months, he came to his father. When his father arrived for dinner, he wanted to play with his father. And as his father said, my son, I don't have time. And then he said, Dad, he got his envelope and he opened. It was 250 euros and gave to his father. He said, I want 1 hour from you. This is true. Okay? His father told me at that very moment, he saw his son and he said, my goodness, what I am doing with my family. Immediately, he stopped what he was doing and seated with his son and began to play with him. He never stopped playing with his son when he arrived home. So, my dear colleagues and friends, I can tell you this pandemic is an opportunity, a golden opportunity for us to become better people. The spirituality God gave us a minor calamity to wake us up. We cannot wait for the second wave, third wave, or another one that will be arriving. When a big suffering arrives, then we are going to really to wake up. No, we have to use this time, today, the present, because tomorrow is tomorrow. Cannot happen. Could not happen. We don't know. We don't know. A very close friend of mine passed away about 2 months ago with the COVID. Nobody knew. He did not expect it. He was well. From one moment to another, he went to the hospital. Sorry. And his time was over. So what we have to do to finish, just to wake up, to use this time. Let's hope that we're not missing this opportunity to become better people, to fight the old man, the old woman, the dark side that is inside of each one of us. This does not happen from one day to another. But as this lady wrote over here, the Indian lady, the writer, we have a portal, a gateway. Or we take the carcasses of everything bad that we have, or we leave this behind and we'll begin a new way of life. It's a golden opportunity, is in our hands. I believe I have passed all the information, Stephen. Do you want to ask anything or anyone that is listening, or what do you have to say? I believe that, tell me.
Thank you, my friend. Yes, we do have a question here from Wanderley. He's saying, do you think humanity in the future may face some pandemic like this? Or will we learn or wake up, or we will learn or wake after that?
No. Thank you, Wanderley, right? The
Yeah.
name. Thank you, Wanderley, for the question. I believe that we have the opportunity now in our hands. You see, if we don't change, change will come, and you have to adapt to it. Okay, so I believe that other pandemics will come because it's a nature, and we have to be better prepared for that. But we have to learn with this one not to repeat the same mistakes that we have committed. We are expected for a vaccine. This vaccine can come in 1 year. We have no idea if the effect, how effective it is. We have to learn with, we are going to live with this pandemic for some time. Let's hope that God take pity on us and not to send another one. Okay, because it's the mankind that is producing the conditions for this virus to arrive. Okay.
Yeah, and I want to say, my friend, what your viewpoint and what do we have to say for those ones who think this is I don't know, a problem with the government? This doesn't exist. They just want to do this to reduce the population, to economic. Oh no, you see a lot of conspiration theories. What do you have to say to them?
Well, it's very sad, but this is true. This happens. Okay. Some people say that this does not exist or this is fabricated, and but we have to see the facts. The facts are very clear. I had people of my, you see, my relations that got the virus, and this virus is completely different from any other one because each person has different reactions on the virus. And I don't really believe, technically speaking, I don't believe that this was fabricated and there is, it's not true that the government wanted to reduce the population with that, because this is nothing. You see how many people are affected today compared to the Spanish flu. It's nothing. You see, we are talking in the United States, we have 200,000 people died. In comparison with the population of the United States, that is 350 million people, this is nothing. So if they wanted to reduce the population, they are using the wrong virus. Okay, so it's not that. What really is happening that there is a virus, and you have to learn how to live with that and to be better persons. To the solidarity, we have to create the solidarity, to enhance our solidarity in the world. This is what I believe, Stephen, and I believe that I'm not wrong. Okay.
And also, we do have another question here from Mary. Do you think that people that doesn't follow the guideline and is living the life will be asked about their actions on the other side?
Look, let me tell you one thing. We are going to be asked not because of these actions, but we are going to be asked, what did you do with the life that I gave to you? Okay? Not this specific one is so little, so small. But what did you do with the life that I gave to you? With the health that you have, the eyes that you have during your lives, the words, you have not been born blind, you had no cancer, you are not in the hospitals. You see, and what did you do with the life that you have? This you are going to be asked. Not if you did not use the mask or this kind of thing, because this is so tiny, this is so small. We have today. I have a friend that has his son, 22 years old, with cancer. Okay, and I talked to him today, and his son is 22 years old. Discovered in 1 year ago that he has a something, and this something was a cancer. This cancer, like that. This person is suffering a lot, and he is learning. He told me that he, with the sickness, illness of his son, he's becoming a better person. And I tell you, I will be asked when I go to the other side that what did you do with the tools that I gave to you? I gave health, I gave a good job, I gave friends, I gave a family. And what I'm going to do? What I'm going to ask? What I'm going to say? I was a spiritist. I was a medium. I was this and that and that. Does not matter. He's going to ask, how many tears did you dry up? How many hugs did you give to the people that was suffering? How much of your time, how many patients did apply in your life? This is the things that will be asked, nothing else.
Yeah, taking a lift on Mary's question, uh, do you think that those people who doesn't follow the guidelines shall be considered suicide?
Well, I don't think that there will be suicides, but they are, how can I say, co-authors of crimes because they are contaminating others. They could be contaminating others, and someone of them could die. When we use the mask, we are not protecting ourselves. We are protecting the other ones. A person that has the COVID, the virus, and uses the mask, a person that is asymptomatic, he does not know, or he knows that he has, but does not have anything, but he covers his mouth, and he goes outside, he talks to people, but he's protecting the other one. So if they don't do it, they could contaminate and some people could die. And then, in my opinion, he is a kind of a co-author of a potential crime. You see, not a suicide. Or could be if he got the virus, if he gets the virus, I don't know. You see, because you said the responsibility is enormous of every single person, because we are part of a chain reaction that we really have to stop this chain reaction.
Yeah. Yeah, my friend, we are close to our time, but it's it is a kind of it's a chess game. When you think we're gonna give a checkmate, the virus come and give another thing to us. But I would say, I give an example. When everybody was on lockdown, we saw so many movements, people applauding the doctors and this, okay? And for example, here in Ireland, we do have most of our channels are from England. And usually before the pandemic, we used to see solicitors saying, "Oh, we're gonna sue. If you want to sue your doctor, call this number." Now, if you have been suffering with misleading diagnoses from doctors, call this number. And of course, during the pandemic time, they didn't show these TV commercials. And now, if you turn on the TV, they are back again. And now they are saying, if you are suffering from COVID and you are staying in the queue, please, and you want to sue your doctor, call here. So the same guys they were applauding 2 weeks ago, let's say, now they want to sue them because I don't know, they have some kind of consequences of the COVID, like somebody is still feeling ill, or they have some further consequences. Now they do have a kind of disease because of the COVID, and they want to sue the doctor. So, do you, from this perspective, I don't see any lesson learned.
Esteban, this is true. Some people does not learn. Some people does not learn. And that is their problem, because they are receiving the same information that we are being receiving. But it's their problem because they are not learning. But if we don't learn, this is our problem. We cannot blame them. Perhaps they did not really have their time yet. But we know that we have to learn. We have to listen. And we have to absorb this information in this learning process. But you are true. It's very true what you said. They did not learn. And most people, regretfully, I must say, they didn't learn with this COVID. But some did. Some are better persons. This lady this Indian writer, she said about the portal, the gateway. It's true. It will depend on each one of us. If you wanted to pass the gateway with the carcasses of the same thing that we had before, it's our business, it's our problem. Or we can leave that away and be light, you see, be better persons. That is the problem. It's a pity, this is what I said, this spirituality gave us this virus, a very minor one, to test the humankind. Look, wake up, test the solidarity, be better, join the efforts, governments, join the efforts. You have a common enemy.
Yeah.
Or we are waiting for an alien aircraft to arrive to every single person, country to join the efforts in order to combat the alien. This alien is already there, is this very tiny, weak virus, because if it was a disease like H1N1, my God, every single family would have lost a person in the world. Okay, yeah. And God took pity on us. Just, okay, let's try if they wake up. And we ourselves, we create the conditions for this little virus to appear in the world. It's not God. God is not really doing this kind of things. He took pity on us because we are giving the condition for this kind of virus to appear. If we were better persons, if the governments were working together and the vaccine would be already here. And we are fighting against each other. We are China against United States. As you see, UK with the Brexit plus the COVID is really suffering a lot. Will take suffering to everyone. We are not learning. You see, the heads of states are not learning. We can see one or two of them really getting this idea, getting this feeling, but they don't have power as the big one has.
Yeah. Today in the news, we on BBC, there is a topic saying the British government doesn't have enough tests to everybody, and they are inviting everyone to go to Scotland to be tested. And the question is what the government did during the summer and didn't buy enough tests knowing that the winter will come, or even though spend money to have their own resources to produce the tests by themselves.
You see, it's a missing opportunity.
Yeah.
That is the key of this chat that we are talking today. We cannot miss the opportunity. We have to learn because this virus will be with us for
Long time.
I don't know, 1 year, 2 years, or even more. We don't know. Nobody knows. No scientific person of science can say that. Can say that this will be over. I have here just to if you allow me, you see, look, one professor, the director of the Institute of Virology of the University of Bonn in Germany. This virus is not disappearing. It has now become part of our daily lives. It will still be here in 3 years, and we have to find a way to live with it. This is from last week. Okay, so we have to and another one. This is from the UK, from the University of Oxford, Professor Carl Hannigan. Epidemics are non-linear. They tend to be chaotic with few certainties. Leaders cannot foresee the future. They need flexibility in their planning. In fact, epidemics are like war, foggy, unpredictable, and never go the way you think they are going to be. So, my dear, what we have to do, we have to learn with this opportunity. We have to really to learn to combat the person, the dark side that we have. I am insisting this because this is what we have to do. If the ones that should have done many things, as you said, they haven't done, it's their problem. We vote for them.
Yeah.
Okay? So what we have to do is that, we have to do our part.
Yes.
This is our situation.
Well, the good point is these teachers taught us parents need to be parents because they need to look after their children. And couples have to see each other. So people, as you said, people are alone at home. They need to know themselves. So that's the common point. Also, we do have some comments here. Our friend Don from Chicago. He said that Divaldo commented that the videos will take like 1 to 2 years, and we didn't know this was going to last this long at the beginning.
This is true.
Yeah. That's what he
Everyone
said.
made plans to travel at the end of the year. I had plans to travel. I had plans to travel to visit you.
I know that. I know. And I had plans to go this summer to Austria.
Yeah, so you see that we cannot do. We only can take this opportunity really to understand, to learn, and really to do our part in this situation. You see.
Yeah. Okay, my dear friend. So we are over 5 minutes from our time, but when the conversation is good, we always have questions here, but we need to follow the schedule. Your
If
final
there is
words?
a need, if there is a need, you have my email, and you send it to the people, or you write to them, and
Yeah,
they
you can
could
say
write
here.
to me.
Say your email, and people can.
Is h.werdine@gmail.com. Very simple.
Werdine is WERDINE.
RDINE. Yes. H
W
dot
W
H.werdine@gmail.com.
Werdine at gmail.com. So I put this on the comment box, guys. Feel free to reach out, Humberto. Humberto, my dear friend, thank you very much for your clarifications. Our friend Danny, indeed, really good conversation, Stephen. Yes. And once again, thank you very much for your availability. Our best to Claudia. I know she's recovering. She's recovering well. And you, my friend, take care of yourself as well. And till the day I can hug you again.
Okay. Okay. Thank you for the
Okay.
privilege. Okay, to be with you, to be with you all. It was
Okay.
really my pleasure. Really,
Thank you.
I enjoyed. Thank you.
Uh, would be able. Can you do a final prayer for us?
Yes.
Okay.
My dear friend Jesus, I would like to thank you for everything that I have in my life, for the family you gave me, for the health that we have, for the eyes that see the beauty of the world, for my ears, for my perfect body, for my kids, for my grandkids. You gave me too much. I really thank you for everything, for the gift of knowing the Spiritism, for the gift that you taught me how to really to understand the life that we have to live. I thank you, my friend, my father, for everything, for this opportunity of the virus that is in the entire world, for the opportunity that you gave to us, for us to wake up, to wake, and to be able to talk, to try to plant some seeds, to understand that we have to fight against this person that still struggles within us as a selfish person. Thanks for the opportunity of the life that you gave to us. Today, there are so many people that are dying, that are finishing their term in this life. And we are still here. Thank you very much. And let's keep us trying. Help us keep us trying, really, to use this portal, to really to walk through it and be a better person and help enhance the world that surrounds us. Thank you very much.
Thank you, my friend. Thank
Thank
you
you, my
very
dear.
much. And thank you all. Thank you, my friends from America, from Australia, from Peru today. We have friends from Peru. Thanks, my friends from Europe, especially Ireland, my home. Thank you, friends from around the world. Thank you very much. I hope this reach you are wherever you are, and may this reach your family in a very good way. So thank you, my friends. I'll
Thank you,
see
my
you
dear.
next Tuesday. Thank you.
Bye bye. Thank you.